Hello, everyone. Kirk Stevens here, and welcome to my Campfire Tales. Today, campers, we are getting back to In Plain Sight. This was a little deal that I came up with not long after Zach's beachcombing only thing, and I was trying to make something that was going to be a little more livable, where you could start without doing a custom run. And after a few comments from other people, I've come to the conclusion that this really is way too strong to be considered beachcombing only. It's an interesting challenge unto itself, so that you're only allowed items that are in plain view. So we're going to continue because we're still alive, but we're not allowed to search anything. You're not allowed to open lockers and search for things. But we're going to continue to play this out. I want to get over to Coastal Highway and see what we can find, see how long we can keep Astrid alive. We have the ability to make fire now in good weather, clear weather, because we have the mag lens. So this helps a lot here. But we'll go ahead and finish this out. We probably will not consider this like a beachcombing challenge anymore. This will just be its own little entity. Actually kind of come up with an augmented or an adaptation of this and the beachcombing thing to make it much more about beachcombing and much stronger. And like, speaking of which, we could do a fire right here. But let's get going. We're going to go over to the ravine and head towards coastal. But I don't want to give away too much on that. Basically what I mean, I'd still like to make it where you have to just spawn a regular interloper deal, that you can have anything beachcombing wise, and probably be able to harvest plant life. I don't think you're going to be able to harvest the carcasses, but I'm not 100% sure on that. We'll line up what I'm thinking and get a video out in the near future. But I'm thinking that you can harvest plants, and you'll be able to have a small amount of items from the world. And what I mean by that is you'll be able to pick up a couple of items to dirty the game from its purest beachcombing sense, but yet might make it possible to live with. And it's like, once you pick that item up, it goes against your set number, and that's it. Once you reach that set number, you're done. So haven't decided on what to call it or what all the details are going to be, but definitely think we're going to tighten this up and make it a lot stronger than what we have right now. Good Lord, it is cold. Oh, look, Astrid. Free-range coal. Out in the wild. Don't think we're going to need the feathers. Did we? We have not found a hacksaw or anything, so if we're going to harvest that, we're going to have to make fire. And you know what? It's just as good a time to make a fire as any. There we go. Some food. Any more goodies back here?
This pack is getting kind of heavy.
Oh, I know, Astrid. Now, we can't see what we have here, so this could be a boon or a bust. Oh, wait. Put that away. I don't know if we have matches or not, but we need to use mag lens. This is probably the one
On the
thing, had
fire.
Zach found this in his purest steel on the ice, he probably could have survived for many weeks if he had the ability to start a fire with the mag lens. He probably would have made great use of that. And this deal, like I said, being able to pick up anything in plain view does restrict a certain amount of the loot, but as was pointed out, it really does not restrict enough to make it a beachcombing only challenge. It's too much stuff, and so, like I said, we're going to do something a little more restrictive in the future here. Oh, good Lord, we've got a ton of water. Can we cook some teas or something? Yes, we can. So let's cook some teas. Especially birch bark. So while we're waiting on the deer, we'll just get as much done as we can. What else we got here, Astrid? Let's cook up all the teas we can. Got all that water, we might as well use up some. Let's cook some of that. I bet you we could make some more, whoops, birch bark. We picked up a couple. As long as the wind doesn't change too much. Cook that. Almost there. So seeing how this run is kind of taken on a new light, it's basically just going to be kind of a custom interloper run now, more so than the beachcombing only. Beachcombing is what we're after right now, but it's definitely not that anymore. And I keep beating a dead horse, so we're gonna just call it what it is. This is just a custom interloper run now, where we have restricted loot, and we're gonna see how long we can take this, and then we'll go from there. I'm excited to get the other challenge started, because it's gonna be pretty tight. Almost there. Can we craft any more things? No, but you know what? We had some regular tea that we will make. Alright, so we did this for 8 kilos, so that's 24 minutes. Is way too long. Just a second, Astrid. We're going to pick up our teas because they're going to burn. We've got enough time on the fire as long as the weather doesn't change. So let's harvest this. Get that to cooking. Let's do another tea. And I'm not going to worry about collect anything more here. I'm going to warm up and get going. "31 minutes. We'll starve to death by then." It's very quiet. Go ahead and pick you up. Really? Not one of those are hot? We just made you. There we go. Just figure we'll keep you hot while this is cooking. "18 minutes, Astrid, 18 minutes. Sad thing is there's probably one or two more of these carcasses down the way there. We could probably get another meal if we wanted to. This is where the hacksaw comes in handy, is with the frozen carcasses, because you can pluck these things clean on the fly. It works great in Dead World. I found a hacksaw fairly early on in the Dead World run, and that's just such a time saver because you don't have to sit and wait for it to thaw out. So you can kind of do it on the run, and because you don't have predators chasing you, you can just, you know, basically put it in your backpack and go. Cook it later. Come on. Be done already. Alright, close enough. Eat. Pick up 1 torch. Not bad. Put away. Come on. Ooh, crappy torch, but we'll take it. And this will be our last one. And we're just going to take that and walk in the fog. The beautiful thing about the ravine is that there's no predators here. So it's a great little retreat. Especially if you're a stalker player, which I tend to play more stalker than most things. I'm trying to graduate myself into interloper more and more, but if you play on stalker, this is a great place to come. It gives you a break from the wolves. You can, you know, harvest the carcasses over here. There are a few deer over here to hunt, and there's rabbits to hunt, so you could really collect a lot of supplies. You know, like the hides and guts and stuff, and then you can put them in that cave back there, and there's another cave across the way you could use too, but you could put them in the caves and let them cure there, so you're not carrying them raw through Mystery Lake or through Coastal Highway. Because as we all know, the stalker players get blessed with more wolves, and so it seems like they're always chasing you, even when you don't have anything in your hip pocket hanging out. So this is a great little place to come, and you can gather up a bunch of rabbit fur if you're someone who makes that kind of clothing, or the deer carcasses are probably the best because you can get probably, if you're lucky with the carcasses, you probably could pick up at least 3 or 4 depending on whether or not you go down into the ravine, and or depend on the RG. There's usually one up here on Stalker and then the one over by the cave, and sometimes there's some down in the ravine. So I mean, with all of that, you can really do well in setting yourself up to make some pants or boots, all without yeah, see, here's another one here. So you could collect all these hides and have enough to make some clothing and have it cure over here without putting yourself into danger. Even just the guts alone on that aspect.
Did I say I hate being told? Because I really do.
Okay, okay, I hear you. There's another cave over here. Lord, tons of crows. I'm not going to worry about gathering any more tea material for the moment. Oh, you know what? I just screwed up. I was on autopilot and I went and searched that box. And I'm not supposed to search the boxes. And I don't remember if I got anything out of it. I think it was empty. But I just made a major boo-boo for what this is all about. And that is just my fault for not paying attention. Because... oh. Well, this is a nice happenstance. And it's out in the open, and we can have it. Yeah, so technically... this run really is null and void to some extent. Because I did make that mistake. I don't think I took anything out of there. I don't recall there being anything in there. But... nevertheless, yeah, I wasn't supposed to pick anything up. And this is because you play. I've got 2 other runs going right now. We've got Dead World and we've got the Signal Void, and those aren't restrictive challenges.
That's a good one.
They are just regular ones. So you just get on autopilot. So I don't think there was anything in there. We'll call it part of our strikes that we were talking about, giving ourselves some strikes there. So I think that is strike number 2. I'd have to go back and watch the first one again, but if we do another one, then we might just do the wands and only thing and just run and jump off the cliff or whatever and call this run done. With that said, let's go ahead and drop some teas. I can't believe it did that. I can't. Yeah, I can't believe it did that. But this kind of goes into something I was doing right before the challenge. Now, depending on when you see this, Zach just released a brand new video, which I watched before starting this recording. And in his video, he was doing, he's in the airfield, and he's searching around, and he's doing some challenges at the moment. And so The last challenge was the name the teddy bear thing, and today's challenge he was doing a thing about what you would change in the game if you could make a change. And my proposal to the change would have helped this very moment as we speak, and that is the thing that I would change is I would add to the customization menu that it already exists. Being able to do custom runs is a wonderful thing. It gives us the ability to manipulate and change the parameters to give, a lot of replayability. What I would like to see them is to take that one step further. And the one step further could have worked really well with. Oh, are we getting a gift here? Sorry, hang on. I got distracted by
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
rabbit. So anyway, what I'd like to see is an even more customizable game. So, for example, and I use this example in my my comment on the YouTube deal to Zach, and that is, last year he had a challenge where everybody was supposed to start in the same spot in Pleasant Valley, and we were all to play regular Vanilla Interloper, and we all were supposed to turn in our videos, and he was going to compare different gameplay styles between like the more experienced players like Thomasia and Wands and Only and that, and then the more novice players. And at the time, the novice players were people like uh, Koru and Thistle and DH Dunn, myself, Tiny Little Bird, Killer Tuna. Those people were involved in that challenge as well, but they were more novice players. They were the ones playing. They were playing Voyager, and like me, I was playing Stalker, and just kind of getting into the whole streaming thing on Twitch. And so one of the parameters of that challenge was that you had to start in the same place. We all had to start in the same place in Pleasant Valley, and had this new customization map that I'm proposing, or customization menu I'm proposing, been in existence, then Zach could have loaded up the exact spawn point. So you can customize what map you load into, but not the exact spot. Where if they could tweak this menu a little better, and you could have like not just spawn in Pleasant Valley, but you're going to spawn at 3 strikes, or you're going to spawn in the farmhouse, or you're going to spawn here. So that way, when community challenges are put together, they could set up what the weather's going to be, the time of day, the exact spawn point that you spawn into. It would be cool if they could even set up the loadout that you get. Maybe they are, more restrictive. Maybe they're more forgiving. Maybe they give you 1 pack of matches. Maybe they give you 3 matches to start with. This would allow the challenges to be more even keel. So what I could have done on this particular thing, getting back to this very long story as to what I just made a mistake on, is if I could have used this hypothetical menu to lock all searchable containers. So file cabinets, desk drawers, or whatever, lock them out. This would keep you from making those mistakes and accidentally digging into something. The no-go players could come up with something where they can't walk into buildings. All the buildings are locked. It would just make it a little easier. These self-imposed challenges sometimes can be difficult because you make mistakes, and like I just did. So that was my proposal to that challenge, was to see something where the customization menu is even stronger, Um, Long Dark Forever is doing a challenge where they're doing breakfast in the Forsaken Airfield, and they have certain parameters. And one of the things is they have to spawn in Ash Canyon. Well, if you spawn in Ash Canyon, you can spawn in a couple of different places, and depending on the level, you can actually spawn in even more places in lower levels. It would be nice if LD could have set it up so that everybody spawns at, say, Angler's Den or the Respite or whatever he deemed was the place he thought was the most uh, advantageous or disadvantaged to the challenge. And then he could have set up with everybody with the same clothing, the same loadout. Like everybody gets like one flare, or everybody gets a cotton toque. Everybody gets this type of gloves, this pair of pants, these shoes. Everybody starts with the same thing, and then the weather could be the same across the board. Like you could either have the weather changing a lot or not changing a lot. Maybe you have a blizzard only thing where it's always a blizzard. I mean, how crazy would that be? Or like it's always foggy. You know, fog is such a miserable thing when you're trying to cross, like, Coastal Highway or Pleasant Valley. You can't see the horizon. It would be crazy. So I just think that those kinds of things, being able to manipulate that part of the game, would make such a neat setup for challenges and what have you. And we're off. We've warmed up. We've got some teas warm. And we carry on towards Coastal Highway. Hopefully, we'll get to see the beach before we end this run. We have a hammer. We could actually think about forging if we found a hacksaw, which might be kind of crazy, but not. And now that this is just more of a Vanilla Interloper run, we just need to play it out. I don't remember what video it was I mentioned this earlier, but I mentioned something about it would be cool to be able to seen what this was like before the apocalypse. And I didn't know how they would do that, but with the signal void, it might be kind of interesting if you could find, and this is going to date me as my age, and some of the younger players may not know what I'm talking about, and I'll try to explain it the best I can. But it would be kind of cool with the signal void, because a lot of the stuff in the game looks dated. The computers are all CRT and all that stuff. But it would be kind of cool if you found like old Super 8 or 16 millimeter films that you could play of like certain events prior to the collapse inside the signal void while the electricity is running, to give you an idea of what the maps look like, with the trains running and the airport working, all that kind of stuff. Little snippets, little tiny things. That would be kind of a cool way to show it. Would be as part of the signal void thing, where you find these little movies and you have to take them back to a specific place to watch them during the auroras or the glimmer fog. Kind of like old newsreel footage, if you've seen any of that stuff. Older players will understand what I'm talking about. This is all before the iPhones and the digital world. Kind of along the lines of the Polaroids. Polaroids would be a part of this same time frame. Kind of the late 60s through the 70s deal. You didn't take home movies, or you didn't film stuff on your iPod, your iPhone. You took home movies with a Super 8 camera, or if you had the money, you had a 16mm camera, and yeah, took it to a place to have it developed. And then when you wanted to play it, you had to have a little projector, and you had to project it on the screen or the wall. And a lot of families have these old movies packed in boxes and had them converted over the years, but it'd be kind of cool to find like either home movies or maybe even photo albums would be cool, like Misanthropes and Jackrabbit Island here. These are people's homes. It'd be cool if you could find like a photo album or something. That would be kind of neat. Okay. Realistically, we want to go down there. We want to collect cattails. So let's go check this trailer first. Let's be a good searcher. Let's go check out the trailer. There might be something over here. Remember, you can only pick up what's in front of you, so there may not be anything at all. Or there could be that piece of clothing that might be helpful. Look, some free-range coal. Thank you. Coal out of its natural habitat. It's not in a cave. Alright, let's see what we can see. Literally. That's all you get. Don't pick anything up. Don't search that. You're already skating thin ice here. If you do another one, you're done. You're out. Game over. Ooh, more tea. That's always helpful. Can't look in there. Remember the game you're playing. Alright. Not bad. Candy bar and some tea. We'll take that. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back this way. Probably should start another fire. It's still early. No, it's getting later. I'm sorry. So that's east. Okay. Tell you what. Eat the candy bar you found.
Surrounded by snow and nothing to drink.
Yeah, I know. I'm such a pain in the butt that way. Let's start a quick fire here. We'll re-warm our teas and warm ourselves up real quick, and
Come on, little fire.
maybe we'll start a fire. 8% torch. Can we do this? 7% torch, because it took me so long to figure out what I was using.
Come on, little fire.
Come on, Astrid, you can do this.
Perfect.
All right. Let's use one of our free-range coal and a couple of sticks. And we will put some teas down. Or as D.H. Dunn would say, he deploys the teas. We'll deploy our teas. And if you don't know who I'm talking about, and you go onto Twitch, look up D.H. Dunn, and watch him play Long Dark. He is a absolute hoot to watch. He's got a unique character style and play, and it's an absolute joy to watch. You got to go watch him, or go check out his YouTube channel. He is listed as one of the friends of the channel. Well, hello, buddy. Wasn't expecting you. You actually gave me a little shivered shake there. Go away. Seemed to run you off very far. Alright. I was going to drink some water. So anyway, no, go check him out on Twitch. He's really funny on Twitch, but he's got a lot of recorded stuff where you can check him out. And again, if you go to my main page, he's on there as friends of the channel. He's got some very unique terminology he has used in this game, and I love using it. It's funny, and I hear other players using it. I heard Trooper Barry say something about camp headquarters, which is one of his euphemisms. Zach even uses the term megatorch, which he uses. It's funny. He's got a very fun play style, and he's a joy to watch. So I can't stress enough to go watch him play. You're back. Wow. How about we do this? What an ad. Go away. He must be caught somewhere, because I can hear him scuffling. He's like right over on the other side of this. He's like stuck. Alright. Let's take these. I'll tell you what, we're not going to take a bunch of torches, because we might want to leave this on as a comeback. So let's do one more torch. And then that's got 16 minutes on. And I'm going to walk around this way and give myself a little bit of wiggle room here in case he pops up. Kind of give him a wide berth here, because I have a feeling he's kind of stuck. Yeah, that's what I thought. He's kind of stuck over here. Yeah, I think that's what he was doing. He was bouncing around over there. Alright. Ooh, don't walk off the edge. See if we can't lose him here. I'm going to get on the other side of the bridge here, and we're going to go down and pick up the cattails. Maybe we'll get to the beach here if we don't get overrun with the wildlife. Alright. Wolfie. Let's see if you've got four-wheel drive and can follow us down. I can hear you. Did you make it? Did you follow? Oh, that was further down than I expected. I just want to kind of get a little further away from that ridge there, because I can't see you. And so that makes me nervous. Hey, another free-range coal. Maybe he lost interest. I can't hear him anymore. So we'll follow this down. There's that house that's up here. And we'll go check it out. We might just stay the night there. Not because it's just starting to get dark, and we can take a look at our clothing and see if there's anything I need to fix. Because I decided to try to take a jump off the cliff there. That step was a little taller than expected. Oh, what's going on there? There's wabbits. And there's our little house. I knew we were close. Let's go see what's going on in here. Remember, don't open nothing. Maybe I just need to say that all the time when I'm playing this and just remind myself, don't open anything, don't open anything. Put a big post-it note on my monitor. Okay, well there's nothing here that I can look at. It's all tucked away maybe. So that makes this really exciting.
Oh, I'm starving.
I don't know if I can get one lit. It's very much too late. Fine, Astrid. Good job. We're not that cold. I'm going to go ahead and see how much further down we can get. If we keep going down the river, creek, whatever you want to call this, we can collect cattails. I wish I had a hacksaw. We could chase after some of these carcasses easier, but I'm not going to waste the time with starting a fire just yet. If we find a hacksaw, we can come back to them if I don't touch them. Yeah, look at this. There's one right there. I think there's another one down the river a little further. Was that another coal? I'll take that.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
Oh, there's a deer. I heard that. Alright. I don't think I'm going to collect all the cattails. And my main reason is that there is a bear that wanders up this little creek from time to time. And I'm going to try to avoid him at the moment because we are unarmed. And we'll take the high road here. And maybe we'll reconvene ourselves in the fishing huts. It's still enough daylight and the weather is still decent. Can we get up here? Can we traverse this? I'm not sure I've actually been up this high over here. Nice view though. This might be an interesting billy goat. How about a very interesting billy goat? Because, okay, this might be too far. Talk about taking the high road, Astrid. Jeez Louise. Alright, this might look like a really good place to head down. Yes, this looks like a very safe way to go down. So, we're going to shimmy down and hopefully avoid the bear. His den is not far from here, so. And if we stay up here, I might have a better chance of seeing him and not run into him. Or her, depending on. And there you go. Now you've busted an ankle. Alright, so there's the bridge. That's what we're looking for. If we hurry up, maybe we actually could get some beach combing in. It's the whole point why we're here. Yeah, I think we're just going to skip all these cattails. We'll save them for future, Astrid, if we survive that long, because one more mistake and Astrid's gonna be in big trouble. Ooh, I may have heard the bear. I think he's right over there. Oh, that'll be smart. Get stuck on the ice, Astrid, because you can't lift your feet. I think he is right over there. I could hear something. I mean, if he's not, it's no big deal. I heard something breathing. Alright. We're getting a little cold. Let's go see if there's anything to beachcomb. Pretty healthy. So if we get a little cold, no big deal. You know what? Here, let's make this a little better for the viewers here. Let's go ahead and drink the tea and heal the pain so that it clears up the vision. That little bit of outer blur is annoying for the viewer. So what do we got, Astrid? What do we got? This looks like some kind of carcass. It is. It's a rabbit. And a not very frozen rabbit. Oh, and we were stinky.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
Oh, we were still carrying that other rabbit. We harvest part of it, but not all of it. No wonder why Mr. Wolf was all excited about us. Come on. Goodness gracious, what do we got over here? This thing looks big, whatever it is. Get on. If you don't what? Wouldn't this play... This would be absolute nightmare if you were, like, hungry and you needed this carcass, and every time you stepped out there it started to crack. That would be a... What a tease that would be. Alright, let's take a poke in here and see if there's anything floating about. No. We're cold. We stink. I think we're just going to go over here to the fishing huts. I want to think that I can sneak over here without getting too excited about the wolves. Not realizing I had that rabbit on me. Now I understand maybe that's why I heard the bear, because if he was over there. That's cool though, the deer carcass. Now see, that's where the hacksaw would come in, and you'd be able to go out there and snag the meat off of that thing without having to thaw it out. But the weather's starting to turn. Hopefully we can get up here and we got a little beach coming in. That was pretty good. Had a little wolf action. Let's hope we don't have any more wolf action. Of course, we could beat him with the hammer, I guess. You know what? We'll go ahead and take that. So I don't know what's going on. This run has taken on a new life of its own. So, In Plain Sight is going to be its own little entity at this point. So, I've kind of changed my thinking. You know, now, you know, foraging isn't such a bad thing, or, you know, all that stuff. You know, making arrows, and that's the whole parameter. But we need a hacksaw. It would be helpful. All right, so let's take a look at clothing here real quick. We kind of took a nosedive. Wow, we don't have much for clothing, do we? We did kind of mess this up. Can we repair this? No, we don't have enough stuff. Can we get this stuff out of here? I don't know if we're going to have enough time. We'll give it a shot here. All right, what's the worst going to do? Fail? We need to eat so we don't lose well fed. Let's just eat the dog food. Oh, I know something else I should do before it gets any later. The door should be over here. We should drop these outside because they'll only get worse inside.
I've never felt so cold in my life.
Sorry, Astrid. You had to drop some stuff off outside.
Oh, I'm starving.
Okay. So is there anything else we can prepare? We can do this. Oh, good. Let's do this. We didn't fix that. It's too late now. I probably can't do any more. Food is okay. Let's harvest. And let's harvest you. Okay. So we have... We're very light on clothing for sure. So if we find a hacksaw, or if we go forge and get a knife and that, we'll start collecting the carcasses a little more hot and heavy. Because like I said, this now has taken on a new life. This is more of a just interloper with loot reductions now. And so beachcombing will be very important, but it's definitely not what it was intended to be anymore. So I think what we're going to do here though is we are like within a few minutes of hitting the 1 hour mark, and we'll just bring it to a slightly early conclusion, and we will pick this up again. This isn't going to be like a regular weekly deal. I'll record these when I have time and spit them out as I record them. So these will be intermittent type deals. I'm hoping to get the other beachcombing idea out in the near future, but the other two runs, I'm going to try to make sure those are on a steady schedule. Dead World and Into the Void, those will continue to be on a regular deal. You know, let's just eat the chips. And when we die in Dead World, we will start another Dead World run, and that because for whatever reason that I like Dead World. I think it is such a unique challenge, and I want to keep that one running. There's something about Dead World that's really cool, and so that is one that I will continue to do. The first one was meant to be quick and simple, and it's lasted a lot longer than I anticipated, and so I think we're just going to kind of keep rolling with it. If we die, then we'll start Dead World 2 and move on. But this one will be kind of hit or miss. This will be kind of an intermittent one. So let's sleep 10 hours. And when we wake up in the morning, well, it's not quite morning, but at any rate, we're going to call it right here. So when we get back, we'll be looking at the dark room in the bedroom, and we'll kill some time and get to morning, and we'll do some more beachcombing, and we'll do some more searching for stuff in the homes and Quonset and what have you, and we'll see how long we can keep Astrid alive with the looting only things in plain sight. But again, thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate everyone who's taken the time to get to this end part. So we'll catch you on the next episode.